Well, alrighty, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? We got me, Space Cowboy 17, and I'm pointing the wrong way, Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980 with the power. Old school, new school meets up once again. But hopefully, it is with a win. We've only seen one win. We've only done one show with a win. There's a lot that's happened this week. There's a lot of questions that are starting to be answered with where we're at with this team. And we're just going to go over that, and then we'll talk about how we feel about this upcoming game. So let's first start off with the bad news. Tyron Smith. He had a setback with his neck, and he will be out for the rest of 2020 now. This is very hard to hear because, Tyron, it's like he's one of the best tackles in the game when he's fully healthy. And unfortunately, he's not been able to stay healthy. I've gone on record saying this is where we got to start looking for his replacement, and there's a possibility he could retire in the offseason. We got to think about that. So, 1980, what are your thoughts on Tyron Smith's injury, and how does this impact us?
First and foremost, it is a setback. But it's no mystery about Tyron Smith's injury. He's been hurt pretty much the later years in his career. So we've been dealing with this every year, every season with Tyron Smith. I've always said Tyron Smith is a good Tyron Smith is at 80%. He's still dominant. You can tell last week that he was there. His presence was there. And just his presence being on the field just kind of helps our offensive line. And the funny thing about it was we didn't see, as on the outside looking in, as fans watching the game, we didn't see any type of negative impact going towards this injury, in last week's game. We didn't see it. So, and then hearing about it throughout the week until now, we got the news on I think he kind of he took himself out, of practice. And that's a big loss for us. We've been battling injuries I hate to say all year because it's only been 4 games going into week 5. But we've been battling injuries, man. The injury bug has been floating around the NFL. And I blame a lot of them on preseason and, things like that with other players. But Tyron Smith has been injury prone pretty much his whole career. And it's either neck or back or whatever. But he's out for the season. So now we got to figure out how to plug in that hole. The Dallas Cowboys made some adjustments or whatever. And I guess we'll talk about that in a minute here. But I'm heartbroken about it because, like I say, Tyron Smith is good at 80%, 75, 80%. So with him not being in the game, it's really going to make a difference in that passing game. But he's going to be missed, this year. But it's not nothing that we're not used to because it happens every year. So it's kind of hard to talk about Tyron Smith because he's such a dominant force. But then again, he's always injured. It's kind of like a Sean Lee thing. We all know what Sean Lee, those guys can do on the field, but they can't stay on the field a whole season. They can't give us a whole season, a whole 16, 17 games, whatever. So it's sad. It's unfortunate. And it's just something that we got to hopefully adjust to so we can try to turn this season around this Sunday against the Giants. This is the game to do it. This game is a confidence booster for us. We have to find a way to win this game. We have to reach down and go back to fundamentals once again. That word is still floating around because those are the mistakes that we're making, the fundamentals. But Tyron Smith, man, he's going to be missed. We're going to miss him. And your health comes first. And I hate to say this, but he's got to start thinking about his health, and he might have to start thinking about retirement because it's always something every year. And it's time for Dallas Cowboys to go ahead and look for that plug-in, in the draft or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll see, man. We'll see how it irons out.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, when we look at what's going on with Tyron, I mean, this has been a reoccurring issue since 2016. It's just getting progressively worse. Now he's out for the entire season. Like, it's been like a couple games. Now it's the whole season. And now Lyle having hip surgery, he might not be the same athlete as well. So now the Cowboys are in a bit of a dilemma because now offensive tackle now becomes a need in the first round. And that's a problem. Now, from what reports are saying, the Cowboys are going to roll with Brandon Knight at left tackle, Connor Williams at left guard, Tyler Biadasz, who I'm excited to see start at center with Joe Looney out. At right guard, you have Zach Martin, who's your backup swing tackle, and then at right tackle, they're going with Terrence Steele again. And listen, I understand you want to evaluate these guys, you want to see what they can do, but my biggest issue is that Terrence Steele has been benched before, and there are moments where he's had solid games or solid plays here and there, but the problem I've had with him is he's just been very inconsistent. Is he god awful, like the worst tackle I've seen? Like, no, I've seen worse, Chaz Green. But he's just the weakest link on this offensive line. You're going to have someone that's your weakest link, but if I'm being completely honest, what the Cowboys should do is they should just kick Zach out to right tackle and put McGovern at right guard. Now, my biggest thing is that if McGovern's not starting, there has to be an issue with McGovern. Like, is his development bad? Like, is there something there that's a problem? Because now, just keep in mind, what's his face? Zach Martin, he's had a couple issues with injuries. He's played through them, but he's getting up there in age. And you gotta remember, guys, even though Tyron is 30 years old, he has 10 years of NFL mileage on him. That is a lot for an offensive lineman. Okay? And especially when you start getting hurt, that's a problem. So, with that being said, 1980, you always talk about the key to every offense is the offensive line. How do you feel about the alignment they're going with now? Do you think, what do you think the plan should be now and in the future?
I agree with you as far as Steele. Steele, he was benched last week, so why are they going back to him? I don't understand that. If it's got to be, I mean, they have to watch film. I mean, you got to see what's going on here. You got to see the negative part of this situation. I mean, we got Connor McGovern, like you just said, that they see something in him that's just not quite there with him. You get what I'm saying? But you drafted him. I think it's time for at least you to start giving him a chance. Let's see. They signed a center, Marcus Henry. I don't know if he was off the practice squad or if he was who was the guy? Didn't they sign a tackle from Cleveland Browns practice squad?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find his name currently.
Yeah,
just because. So, if I could find him, it's here. Let me take a look at their transactions really quickly. It's just I keep forgetting. His name is William Sweet, I think. William Sweet is, I think, his name. He's from the Cleveland Browns practice squad, I believe. I think that's him. Either way, the Cowboys did make that move, but this is the part that irritates the hell out of me, is the fact that they're not even giving McGovern a shot. Now, this is the part that kind of irritates me, is that people are like, well, McGovern hasn't had any training camp or whatever. Terrence Steele is an undrafted rookie free agent, and we're in the situation we're in now, so I don't want to hear that. So there's only one. Either the coaching staff's stubborn or McGovern's not as good as we think he is.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. I think it's a little bit of both.
I mean, it probably is, yeah.
I think they think if they give Steele enough reps that he'll get better, But see, we're you can tell that the Dallas Cowboys are still experimenting with guys. We're still in the preseason as far as coaching wise and everything. And I get it. I'm saying? It's a new team and new coaching staff and everything, but. These games that we're playing, they count. These wins and these losses, they count. We should be 0-4, not 1-3. We got lucked up with the 1-3 with Matty Ice and company, but we really should be 0-4. But every game that we've lost were winnable games. So hell, if you want to really be technical, we should be 4-0. But I'm not going to even go there because we're not. But we're still in you can tell, it's still like we're in experiment mode. It's still like they still trying to find, and injuries have plagued us big time, and it's a part of that. But it's like they don't have no choice but to kind of, let's test this guy here. Let's try this guy here. And offensive line is the worst thing to experiment during the regular season because that is the bread and butter of your football team. It controls the offense and defense, like I've said before. And without a solid offensive line, it affects everything, man. It has. You can see it has, man. We haven't had a consistent running game. I got some stats here, man. Last week, let me see. Last week, Dak Prescott, week 4, threw for 502 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interceptions, and his QBR was 112.9. And Ezekiel Elliott, which hurt, and that was good. A lot of those yards were off a comeback. You get what I'm saying? But you still gotta get out there and perform and execute, regardless if we're down or not. You still gotta get out there and perform, especially if we're trying to come back and get into this game and try to win. And Ezekiel Elliott had 12 rushes for 54 yards, 4.5 yards per carry. So Ezekiel Elliott is not benefiting from these injuries to our offensive line. He's not. I mean, it hasn't been consistent. We're one-dimensional now. We're pass, and that's why we can't get it going early, because believe it or not, you have to establish a football game with the run game first. I get it. We're coming out passing. We're giving them new looks and everything because everybody looking for Ezekiel Elliott to run the ball first because he's our go-to guy. He's our big contract running back. I think one of the best running backs in the league, but he hasn't proven that because we can't run. And that's why we're scoring. We're doing okay. We're doing average in the first half, first quarter. Like last week, we scored 14 points in the first half, and then we didn't score in the second. We didn't score in the second or third quarter last week. That killed us. Not even getting in field goal range. That's 2 quarters, man. That's not good. That's not good because you don't have a consistent offense without the running game. That lets you know, everybody. I know it's a pass league, but you have to establish that momentum with the run game, regardless if they know you're doing it or not. If they cannot stop the run, go back to 2016. Go back to 2014. Look how we were able to just run it. We had the best offensive line in football, and we were able to run. And they even when they knew we were running, they still couldn't stop it. Like Jordan, I'm about to get the fadeaway, but you can't stop it. You get what I'm saying? Jordan had that patented fadeaway. Everybody knew he was backing him up, and everybody knew he was going to do it, but they couldn't stop it. That's the thing with the offensive line and the running game. We haven't established that yet. And we've been a run first offense for years. Now we're a pass first offense with Dak Prescott, which can make some things happen with his legs. And he's not Aaron Rodgers, you know what I'm saying? But he's a good quarterback, but he's not Aaron Rodgers or Joe Montana or anything. And now he's forced to play in the pocket and to find somebody and to come back at the end and finally get a rhythm in the second half, because you cannot find that rhythm without a running game in the first half.
Right, and you kind of saw this. The thing that I've noticed is, and I would say, I don't want to say the first 2 games, but the first 2 games are a prime example of this. The Cowboys would still run the ball. The first game especially. I mean, Zeke was doing his thing. Dak looked fine. I mean, it wasn't like it was a close game, and the Cowboys had that game in reach. And it showed that, hey, you need a running game. Now, listen, I've always said that I don't have a problem with you going pass heavy. My biggest issue is that when you continuously pass the ball, you're going to see your quarterback get more prone to making mistakes, and that's not his fault. It's just the natural thing that happens. The more times you throw the football, there are more likelihoods that it could get intercepted, and there's more likelihoods that you could have incompletions that stop the clock.
And then, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
With you saying that, as soon as that happens, as soon as Dak Prescott throws that interception, it's Dak's fault. Well, hell, you're gonna eventually throw an interception or an incomplete pass or an overthrow pass when you're passing every fucking down because you're forced to.
And listen, we're not excusing. Listen, if it's a bad pass, we understand. Like, listen, I get it. Like, you shouldn't be making that pass. Like, you shouldn't make that throw. But again, that's expected. That's the key thing. And so for me, it's like when we look at what we got to do, this is a game where the Cowboys can use as a course correct type of game. Because listen, for the first 4 games, they've just been experimenting. It feels like preseason, right? You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't really be doing this experimental crap when we're now 1-3. Really should be 0-4, or you could be vice versa, like you said. But again, like you said, this offensive line is the bread and butter for this team wholeheartedly. And so Here's the thing. I do want to take away a couple positives. The first thing is I do believe Tyler Biadasz is going to be a long-term center starter for you guys, for the Cowboys. If things work out and they give him a second contract, which he's played very well when he's in. So I can't wait to see that. Also, another key thing is that, Connor Williams, he's been bullied a bit, but he's been solid at times. My biggest thing is I think that the Cowboys should not be afraid to take best player available, depending on, and I know I'm not trying to talk about draft now, but the point I'm trying to get is they need to fix up this offensive line. I feel like you got a center for your future. I think that Brandon Knight could be a solid starter for you as a placeholder maybe, but I think it just comes down to how well does Lyle play when he comes back. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is you probably have to upgrade at left guard. Or left tackle. I'm all for that. And it's just, we just got to do what's best for this football team. We just can't be afraid. I understand that defense is important, and we'll find out. We'll find out what the hell this team's going to do. Because speaking of defense, and this is something that I think many of us Cowboys YouTubers as well as fans have heard from Xavier Woods. If I could pull up the quote really quickly. So Xavier Woods was in an interview. And boy. He says, okay. He said the following. I mean, on certain plays, some guys, me included, there may be a lack of effort, was said in a Wednesday conference call with the DFW media. But overall, the effort is there. He then goes on to say, I mean, we're in the NFL. You don't expect guys going full speed for 70 plays. That's not possible. Okay. I'm going to just go first before I pass this off to 1980 because he's going to know what I'm getting at here. If you recall, Coach Jimmy Johnson, when he was giving a speech to Miami players a couple years ago, he said the following quote. He said, fatigue makes us cowards of us all. And this is a prime example of this. Now, another key thing is that Antoine Woods had a press conference, and he was wearing that dumbass hot boy shit on his fucking head. And I hate to be like that. And it really pisses me off. Now, again, I don't have a problem with the player expressing themselves. That's not the issue I have. My problem is that it's giving off the impression that you're more brand over football and, you putting an effort on the football field. Listen, these guys are NFL athletes. They should be able to go full throttle. So I understand what he's trying to say, but that's no excuse, dude. I want people to go back, as much as it might pain you. Go back and watch that Odell Beckham Jr. end-around touchdown. Look what Xavier Woods did on that play. Little effort there. He just pushed him. He didn't even try to wrap around him. He just pushed him. And it's just, that's the part that pisses me off. Because now, as we're getting closer and closer to the midway point of the season, we're getting more time to see what our team has been doing. It's really showing that, it's a mix of, I understand our coaching staff has made some questionable decisions. That's true. But it's starting to become more apparent that the previous culture we had, the previous coach, it's kind of feels like it's been ingrained way too much. So you're seeing players like Xavier Woods complain about how he doesn't give an effort on full throttle. You have guys like Antoine Woods doing what he did, and then you have Jalen Smith complaining about the scheme being too complicated. Those are red flags, and I don't. Listen, I love Jalen Smith. I love all these guys because I feel like that, they all have interesting parts to this team. But I'm sorry, man. You got to go. I don't want this mentality with my team. So that's just my thoughts. 1980, what are your thoughts, my man?
Wow. When I heard that, I actually heard a lot of different analysts talk about this situation. Shannon Sharp, Skip. I heard Stephen A. Smith talk about it. Goldberg. I heard it on the Mike and Mike show in the morning, 105.3 The Fan. And I was a little embarrassed for a guy on my team, on the Dallas Cowboys to say something like that. What if that would have been your teammate? What if you were a Cowboy and you were in the secondary or on the defense and your teammate said that? How would that make you feel? I would be, and especially all these big chunk yards getting over the top and everything, guys getting past our defense, wide receivers are just at free will, they're wide open, they're catching wide open passes with no white jerseys around. That explains it. To me, I'm like, okay, that explains it. Because you're telling me that we don't have to go full speed all the time. When you're in the NFL and you're professional, if I'm a doctor and I'm doing heart surgery on Space Cowboy 17, open heart surgery, my life is in his hands. You get what I'm saying? He's laid out, he's sedated, knocked out, and my life is in his hands. What if I said, you know what, guys? I don't feel like it tonight. I'm going to let this young man just die. What if I would have said that? That's the same thing, pretty much. Or you know, your kids are riding a bike in the street and you see a car coming down the street 90 miles per hour and you make no effort to get there and get your boy out or your child out of the street. Well, I didn't feel like it that day. I was tired. I didn't feel like it. When you're professional, when you're a parent, a doctor, whatever, your expectations from other people are very high. They expect to get their merchandise. They expect you to operate on them and get them back up and running. They expect the mechanic is expect to fix the car so you can get back and forth to work and picking up your kids and all that stuff. And you're expected. That's your expectation. Not you from other people. They're depending on you. I got kids in there, you know, they come home, they watch cartoons, they look at the iPads, they do so many things. They ride their bikes, they eat, they sleep, they play, you know, they homework, they need computers to do their homework because a lot of their classes are still virtual learning. What if I stopped going to work? Oh, you know what? I don't have to go to work every day. You know, you get what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Y'all have an obligation, man. You're professionals. You got to put your life out there pretty much on the line to win a game. Us fans, we spend our hard-earned money and time watching these games and supporting something that we believe in. You get what I'm saying? And been believing in since the establishment of the Cowboys back in 1960. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of us are die hard. You even got fans bumping heads with each other because they ain't got nothing else to do. So you still got to play for those type fans. You get what I'm saying? So you have to get out there and put yourself on the line, man, and make a play. And you know, at least try, give an effort. For him to say something like that, it blows my mind on so many levels. There's some college kid right now, some safety that's just fighting and working right now as we speak to get into the NFL, and they might not make it. You get what I'm saying? But a guy like that is in here. He should be out the door. If I was Jerry Jones, I'd say, yo, hey, man, you seen where is Xavier Wood? Where is he at? I need to see him. Tell him to come to my office right now. Right now. If you find him, tell him to come to my office. Because I got a pink slip waiting on him. Because we don't need guys like this on this team. That should have happened immediately after him saying that. Immediately. He's not even that good. You know what? I maybe, it's still wrong, but I may be justified if maybe Dion got out there and said that. I know he wouldn't, but I'm just for example. But these guys have won Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? So this guy, you barely starting, man. You lucky to be out there and for you to say something like that. Really, dog? Come on, man. Do a film session on him. See how far that gets you. You get what I'm saying? Dog, this cat need to go, man. I'm sorry. He's the reason why those plays are getting over the top. Oh, okay. I get it now. How I know that last play that he didn't muff it just to, I don't feel like it. How I know? Well, man, I got out there and I tried. How I know? I don't know that. See, now I can't trust you. How can you give money? Jerry Jones signing a check for this dude every month. And you can't trust him now. How you give money to somebody you can't trust? I can do that. Shit, hey, sign me. I can be sorry. I can be lazy. I can miss tackles. I can have poor fundamentals. I can do it all. Sign me up. What do I sign? Where is it? Because that's all I see right now. And y'all can get on here, 1980, this is a transitional year and all this stuff. Don't worry about it. Wasn't nobody saying that before the season started. We all thought this was supposed to be our year. I said this on my live stream. My live stream the other day. Space Cowboy, I'm sorry if I'm going too long. But we all thought this was going to be a year. We've been in transition for 25 years. We've been lowering our expectations for 25 years then. How long is enough? We got Dak, we got Zeke, we had an offensive line. Jerry Jones has spent money to bring guys, Poe, McCoy, who got hurt. We signed the best. We signed the best athlete in the NFL. I mean, in the college, CeeDee Lamb. He's the best athlete overall. We still got Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup. We're supposed to have Blake Jarwin. We got Schultz. We got all these weapons. They still were saying we had the best offensive line. And this is at the beginning of the season, before the season started. I didn't hear transitional. I didn't hear lower your expectations. I didn't hear that. But now that we're losing, everybody went, oh, you know what, man? Guys, calm down now. Lower your expectations, guys. Really? So now you want to jump on that bandwagon so you won't look bad, because I guarantee you, everybody in this comment section, everybody sitting at home watching this video, even if you're watching this video behind the scene and you don't want to make a comment because you know you're probably not supposed to be watching this video, everybody was crunk about this season. Everybody had a good feeling about this season. Everybody was like, man, you know what? We got this, dog. We got all these weapons, dog. We got defense. This defensive line was unblockable. Yeah, remember that? And I was like, what does that say about our? Remember I said that space? I said, what does that say about our offensive line? Everybody thought I was crazy. See, now it's coming afloat. The body has resurfaced out of the lake. You get what I'm saying? So he needs to go. Guys like that need to go. Hot boys, all that stuff, man. Come on, man. Y'all ain't done shit, man. Really? You're 0-4. You're not 1-3. You're 0-4. I'm going to say we 0-4. I'm tired of saying 1-3 because we should have lost that game against Atlanta. So we're 0-4. We're playing against the 0-4 Giants, man. And don't think, oh, man, we got this. We said that shit last week. We said that shit week 1. We said that shit week 2. You know, but that's all I got, man. I'm sorry, dog.
No, you're good. I completely understand it. Listen, I completely understand it. It's frustrating because the thing is like, it's not like the Cowboys. If we look at all these games, there are 2 games. Well, you can count the Seattle game if you want to, where they're getting their ass kicked, right? Let's be honest. Like, you have the Rams game where they're in it. They just, made a couple, if you want to say bad decisions, I have my differing opinions on that. Atlanta, listen, they didn't give up in that game, but still, there's no excuse to be down 20 points, right? Especially the way you got down 20 points. And then against Seattle, I mean, same thing. I mean, like, you have situations where it's like giving away turnovers, your defense just playing piss poor. And that's been the biggest issue for the Cowboys is like, we're, it's been a train wreck of a season right now because the problem is that these players, we're starting to see their true colors, if you know what I mean. Like, we never heard about the lack of effort until recently. You know what I mean? And again, like, I'll be honest. Listen, I'll tell you. I was expecting. I said if the Cowboys, if everything got put together, we're looking between 9 to 12 wins. If that was the big if things got put together. Now, they're not even looking like a 5-win team. They're looking like a 4-win team. They're averaging 1 win in each quarter, which puts you at 4-12, and that's terrible. I mean, listen, I love what the offense has potentially speaking, but you look at in totality what's been going on. The offense shoots itself in the foot. The defense gives up the short yard. It's not even that as well. Another thing that, again, I try to keep making look like when we're passing the ball a lot, because remember, this happened in the Romo era too, that takes a lot of that time off the clock, or not a lot, that takes not a lot of time off the clock. Now you give the ball back to the other opposing team, and then they just drive down the field and score a touchdown or get some points. That's a problem. That's a massive problem. So when we look at what's going on, when we say transitional year, I think it's just, I hate to say it because again, it's not like we got our ass kicked all season long. It's like there are moments where you could have come back and won these games and you did not make the right adjustments or whatever the case. Not even make the right adjustment. You know what I'm saying? Like they were not. They fully just put themselves in a hole they couldn't dig themselves out of. Now again, when we're looking at what's going on, they have a game versus the Giants, which we'll get into, where we can be talking about how the Cowboys or okay, they come back and do the thing. But again, nothing's guaranteed. I'm not trying to be as pessimistic. I'm just being openly honest with you guys. Like, you're going up against the team in the Giants that have been scoring 12 points a game on average. 12 points a game. You're giving up 24 points a game on average as well. If you listen, I'm not expecting them to hold them to that amount of points, but what I am getting at is if you allow that team to hang 30 or even 25 or 24 points on you, there's a problem. Now, again, we'll see how those points get to there. Like, again, every game is a case-by-case like type of study. Like, we don't know what's going to happen in this game. I didn't know what was going to happen in the Cleveland game. But again, when we look at what's going on, I do fully believe that this is a game. I said this every goddamn week. The Cowboys should be able to take care of business. That's not a guarantee that they will. The only time I guaranteed a win was versus Seattle, just because I felt like the team with the momentum, and that didn't happen. That didn't materialize. So, with that being said, there's no guarantee you can beat this Giants team. It's a division game, okay? You got Jason Garrett coming back, wants to prove him wrong, right? But with all that, it's just, look, we have a game upcoming where you can really use this game, okay? But we can't be sitting here. And that's the thing that pisses me off is because not only I just feel at this point, because of what these players have been saying, I'm feel like it's more of these players that were from the previous coaching staff, and it's not fully their fault. I'm not trying to sit here and say the coaching staff has done no wrong, but this has been a disastrous start to this season. There's still 12 games left to play, and we'll see how this team we'll see how the game, how this whole thing rides out. Okay, but with that being said, let's take a look at the injury report. Now, I understand that the Cowboys had a bunch of people come back from injured reserve. They had Anthony Brown come back, someone that we need. I think there was a couple other guys as well. But the main thing is I wanted to talk about the guys that there were some issues with. Travon Diggs, a lot of people were saying he's banged up. He's been a full participant in practice. He's had no issues. DeMarcus Lawrence has been a full participant in practice. Tyron Crawford, he went from did not practice to limited to full, as well as Dorrance Armstrong. So the only players outside of the people that are on injured reserve, the only people that have been on the injury report are Joe Looney and Tyron, who have been reported out. Now, Joe Looney going on injured reserve and Tyron being out for the year. Look, this offense is going to need to find something, man. We're going to see a lot with Joe Philbin can do. If Joe Philbin, because I see flashes with these young tackles, but just because I see flashes doesn't mean it's the reality. So, 1980. Real quick, did you have any thoughts on us getting some of these players back? Do you think it's going to make a difference? Do you think it's just
Well, they activated cornerback Anthony Brown off of IR, which you just mentioned. They signed linebacker Francis Bernard to active roster. Elevated center Marcus Henry and defensive back Steven Parker from the practice squad. So doesn't mean the only person that's probably going to play is Anthony Brown. Out of those 4 guys, Joe Looney, Tyron Smith on IR. Anthony Brown that's one guy you can plug in real fast, and which we do need because he's a veteran. He's been there, and he's a pretty good corner. He can play nickel corner. He can play, outside corner as well. So I would be excited to see a veteran back there, And I don't know what's up with Cheeto. I guess he's still. I think what was it 4 or 5 weeks? I think. Okay. The only player I see getting some playing time is Anthony Brown. We all said, remember, you said it. Every Cowboy fan on here said it. Every Cowboy in the comment section said we should have signed Francis Bernard. He should have made the team at the beginning because he had such a great camp. Remember that, guys? Francis Bernard had interceptions. He was out all around the ball. He was getting sacks in camp and all that stuff. Remember all that? But he didn't make the team. And why? I don't know why, but we're paying for that, So now they finally signed him and bringing him up, and that's a good thing. So we may see him. I don't know. We may see him in alternations or whatever. this defense has to change. The only way the defense is going to get better is they make some adjustments and get back to fundamentals. The New York Giants are no pushover, man. They let me go over there. I got some stats here, man. Their rushing defense, man, they average 3 yards a carry and allow 106.8 yards per game, and that's 11th in the NFL. They've stopped ball carriers to under 4 yards per carrier, and that's all season, all 4 games or whatever. So their running defense is okay enough to stop our damn with no offensive line and Zeke. So that's probably the only thing that scares me about the New York Giants. Their pass defense sucked. They allowed Jared Goff last week to get 200 yards, 1 TD, 6.3 yards per attempt, and but they didn't give up a lot of big chunk plays either. So their defense is okay as hell. They're better than us on defense, but their offense is where they suck. You know, actually their O-line, they allowed 5 sacks last week against the Rams and 8 QB hits. Daniel Jones all season has only thrown for 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and 68.3 QBR rating average. And but that's about it, man. The running back Wayne Gallman, week 4 against the Rams, six rushes for 45 yards, 7.5 yards a carry. He's one of those big play guys, so he'll sneak and get a big play on you. So those are things that we kind of have to worry about with the New York Giants. We're not going to just go in here and they're not going to just come here and we're like, oh, we got this win. We're going to run all over them. No, because we're supposed to be at last week and the week before. So I don't know this Dallas Cowboy team anymore, pretty much, and offensively or defensively. So I don't know, man. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
Right, and a couple shout-outs real quick. We got Mike from Cowboys Corner. I saw DJ Crown J in chat as well, in 1980s chat. We have Vach Lombardi as well as Cowboys Blog in my chat. What's going on, guys? Hopefully you guys are enjoying that. This is funny. Cowboys Blog says if the Giants running back committee gashes us, they better bench some. Yeah, I agree. Listen, man, in fantasy, I'm just going to let you guys know I should lose. If the Cowboys defense comes to play, I should lose because I'm forced to start Danny Dimes and frickin' Devontae Freeman. So hopefully the Cowboys make me lose. Because if not, that's a real big problem, okay?
I got to say, Joe, Cowboys Blog, man, I owe you one. He's been trying to get me on with him, and I've been busy and always an excuse for something. But I'm going to say, I owe you one, brother. I got you, man. Don't worry about it.
Yes. So looking at these stats, right? I know stats don't tell the whole story of what's happened this season because obviously the Cowboys are putting up freaking almost 600 yards a game, 525 yards a game. That they're averaging about 422 passing yards and about 100 rushing yards. So they're doing their thing. Here's the problem: they're giving up too many damn points. 36.5 points allowed per game. Now, for all we know, that points statistic could be skewed as we get further into the season. If the Cowboys defense starts playing well, but again, that's no guarantee. But looking at the Giants' last 5 games, okay, they have lost the last 5 games they've played. They've been blown out by Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. There was a bit of a toss-up game as well as Chicago. San Francisco with the freaking infirmary squad B team beat the hell out of them. And the Rams, who are looking like a pretty solid squad this year, struggled against them. So trust me, the Giants are no slouch. I mean, look, the Cowboys, if things work out, should be able to take care of business. Danny Dimes has been terrible. He's been more like Danny Penny. He's like, look, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, only 889 yards. Listen, the Cowboys have outscored the Giants offensively speaking by 3 times. Okay, the Cowboys have put 3 times as many points on the board as of this juncture. The Giants have only put up 47 total points the entire season. Okay, Daniel Jones is their leading rusher with Saquon out. Okay, so this is the best way I could look at it is that, listen, you're going to have to make Daniel Jones make mistakes. You got to rattle him early and often. He has a fumbling issue. Make him fumble. Make him run it, make him fumble. That's exactly what we did last time. We more so just did our thing. But the thing is that this is our second time seeing Daniel Jones as a starter. And we're going to see him without Saquon. And, the Cowboys have – they've beaten the Giants with Saquon in the lineup. But we'll see what happens, man. This is an anemic offense for the Giants. And if they put up a solid amount of points in yardage, That's a problem. The only time they should be doing that is in garbage time when it's like we're leading by like, let's say 21, 14 points, or hell, even 28. If not, I'm not saying we're gonna have that much of a lead, but like that's when we should be seeing them score those late time touchdowns. Otherwise, there's no excuse. We should be able to handle the Giants and get to 2-3. But anyways, my biggest thing is and obviously we talked about this 1980. What is your biggest key offensively and defensively that we have to do to win this game?
We got to establish the run game. That's easy. We got to establish the run game. We got to get that back. Try to find a way to get that back, even with a beat up offensive line. We got to try to find and get that back, because if they force us to be one dimensional again and pass like all the other teams, because guess what? Guess what the Giants have been doing, guys? Guess what they have been doing? They went back and watched those last games. They went back and watched. Their coaching staff went back and watched did film sessions and everything on the last week and the week before on how these teams made us one-dimensional. They went back and said, "Oh, damn, the Cowboys, they can't do this. They can't do that. They can't stop the run. Hell, they can't stop the pass. They have no pass rush. Oh, they run this 4-2-5 defense all the time. Every now and then they'll bring the safety up, and disguise blitzes and things like that. But pretty much it's 4-2-5. Jalen Smith is all over the place. Jalen Smith shouldn't even be out there. Joe Thomas, he's okay. Let's see. Alden Smith, he's their best guy, and he's been out for 5 years, but he's a hell of a pass rusher. Man, D-Law, don't worry about him, man. We'll be okay. That's what they're doing. So if they do us like that, if we're going to be one-dimensional and all that stuff, look forward to not scoring in the second and third quarter again, and then us coming back at the last minute, end of the third, fourth quarter. We don't need that. We need to go ahead and establish that early, establish the rhythm early, and try our best to get this run game going, because that's where it starts, man. That's how you bully a team. That's how you get to set the tone. Run game, run game, run game. And Zeke, all these fundamental mistakes that we're making, fumbling the ball, turnovers and stuff. Let's see. We had offensive turnovers. We had 9 turnovers, man, this year. And that's tied for 31st. That's almost last. You get what I'm saying? 9 turnovers, 9. So we're helping the defense suck. Our offense is helping our defense suck. You know what I'm saying? By giving the ball back to the other team, to the opponent, and they score. You get what I'm saying? So we're allowing 407.8 yards per game. Well, we're first offense for 407.8 yards per game, which is first, 8.3 yards per attempt. But numbers don't mean anything. I just have to bring that up to prove a point. Numbers don't really mean anything when you're not winning games, and you can't win games without a 3-and-out on defense, without having a defense. And we haven't been able to get off the field on third down. Guys, teams are getting first downs on first down, and then even if we do hold them to a 3-and-out, they're going for it on fourth down, and guess what? They're getting it. They're getting it on fourth down. Now, I'm even, when last year or the year before, we could sit up here and third down and come around, and we'd be like, oh, good, punt team, thank God. Punt return team, yes, we're getting the ball back. Because they'll go for it on fourth down. It could be 4th and 7, it don't matter. They'll go for it, and guess what? They'll get it. Because they know we don't have the heart, the sack, the fundamentals to stop them. Nothing. Ain't nothing we can do. It ain't even worth watching almost. Like, you just know, like, oh, shit, they're going for it on fourth down. Even my wife, she was like, they're going to get it. And she love the Cowboys and everything, but she barely know anything about anything. She said, they're going to get this first down. I'm like, oh, no, they're not going to get it. It's fourth down. Shit, they got it. Like, damn. Like, really, guys? So, you got to look at so many things, man. That could be coaching. That could be player lack of execution, talent, whatever, man. But we just got to get it together. And we just had just a little defense. Just a little. I know we're not going to have a doomsday defense this season, but just a little defense just to stop them, just to get a 3-and-out just for once. Maybe we can get our offense back on the field. And even if the offense made a mistake, we can at least depend on our defense to get our offense back on the field to get the ball back and try to make up for that mistake. But we haven't been able to do that. We've been scoring all these points, 40, 50, 60, 70 points a game, and we're not winning. Who does that? That's got to be coaching. It's got to be. When it's like that, you got to dig back. You got to look back and say, hey, man, what's going on? Something ain't right. Something ain't right, man. because there's no way you can get on here and score 40 points a game and not winning. What is going on? Where has this team gone? We almost, you know what? We were so happy to get Marinelli out of here and Chris Richard out of here. Remember how happy we was to do that, guys? We were so happy to do that. It's a change. We got new coaching staff. I'm guilty of it. Every Cowboy fan on YouTube is guilty of it. Don't try to get on here to make yourself look good and act like you haven't, because you were crunk that we had a new coaching staff. Don't try to get on here and do that. A lot of people don't like to be wrong. 1980 don't mind being wrong. That's why I don't give a damn. But we were all crunk about this season because we got new teachers in the classroom. New teachers, guys. But then I'm seeing worse mistakes than I saw last year. At least we didn't give up the big play. You get what I'm saying? Now I'm like, damn, you know what? That defense last year was designed not to give up the big play. What have we been giving up the past 4 weeks? Big plays. Even though our guys are looking back at the ball and I still think Diggs is going to be a good cornerback in this league. But we're giving up so many big plays. There's nobody around these guys when they're catching touchdown passes. Where are the white jerseys? You can't blame it on the bad luck blue jersey because I don't even think we won them this season. Where are the white jerseys? Okay. Where are the white jerseys, though? How do you be wide open? I swear I can round up 10 guys and we can convert on this defense, on this Cowboy defense. I'm serious. But anyway, man, if we just can think of something, and this is the coach's job. This is coach's job, because the players don't get out there and start doing what the fuck they want to do on their own. They don't start drawing plays in the dirt, talking about, hey, man, you go 10 yards, you cover this, you cover that, you do this, you do that. They don't do that, man. The coaching staff has to put their players in the best predicament, the best situation to make plays on the ball. Oh, Mike Nolan said that we're going to I'm a coach that gets everybody around the ball. I like being around the ball. Have we seen that yet? I don't think so. You get what I'm saying? Was it just a crunk interview he had to get a job? You know what I mean? I'm just like, say, man, this ain't working, dog. And I get it. We got injuries all over the place, yada, yada, yada. But I still think even if we didn't have injuries, man, we still kind of fucked up because of the game plan of the defense, man. Just something ain't right about it. You got some good guys in some good areas, like the cornerbacks coach, Lindquist, and secondary coach Lindquist and Al Harris, cornerbacks coach. Those are some good guys to be in the back, teaching those guys the fundamentals and how to play the position. But overall play calling and all that stuff, putting our defense, putting our guys in the best position. If you got one good player back there, one or two in the secondary, or maybe one good linebacker, they'll put their other guys, the coaching staff. You got a good coach, he'll find a way to make his other guys better. He'll find a way to make what he has better. You get what I'm saying? Damn, this ain't sweet enough. Let me add a little bit more sugar. Let me add a little bit more butter. Vanilla extract, garlic, something. Let me add a little something to get some flavor into this. Let me try this. Since we still in the preseason, seem like it. Since y'all trying different offensive linemen and stuff like that, why don't y'all try something new with this damn defense? How about that? But see, everybody's pride is so fucked up. And so it's like a bunch of grown kids out there in the secondary and out there in the coaching staff and Cowboy Nation too. Everybody want to be right about everything, but we've all been wrong.
And you're right. I mean, look, real quick, if you guys have been enjoying the show, if you guys could, please make sure to leave a like as well as subscribe to both of our channels if you want to get more of this content every week. But also, feel free to drop your questions down below now. We'll definitely be taking a couple questions for the next 10, 12 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and sign off. Listen, man, this is crazy. I mean, it's just, I think, again, we were wrong. I feel like we were wrong about where our team was as well as what our coaching staff was. And I think it's just an all-around disappointment / disaster. Now, there are some Cowboys fans in Cowboy land that are saying we got to fire Mike McCarthy. I'm like, no, you do not fire your first-year head coach after one season, okay? Like, we could have easily fired – I'm not trying to defend Gary here and the 10 years of mediocrity we had with him, but you got to remember, it took him 3 years before the team had a very damn good offensive line and really started clicking on all cylinders again. Am I excusing the decisions that happened in those 3 seasons? No, there were games where we were all pissed off. For example, the Packers game when we were up 28-6, there was a game where we had a shootout with the Broncos. We could have won that game. There were games where we literally had a chance to go to the playoffs every single year, and we lost to every single division opponent. So with that being said, it's just I'm not ready. I don't want to hear that crap about we got to fire Mike McCarthy. If Mike McCarthy is going, it's too early for that. But what we need to see, let's just say we finish the season out 6-10, 7-9. Let's say it's a disappointment, disaster, right? For what we were expecting. If we see the guys that were causing problems, if there's a cap situation, I understand that. But if we are seeing guys that you could easily replace still be on this team, that's a problem for me. There's also a problem where if it's like, I got to see a year where, because think about it, this draft class we have been doing pretty solid for what we got, and we're going to need another year to kind of see. And I hate to say that because it's like we should be winning these games. I'm not excusing that. So, with that being said, let me see if I think we have a couple questions. I'm dropping my channel link in 1980s chat. If you guys have not seen me or don't know who the hell I am, by all means, take that link and you can go subscribe up to me there. So let's take a look. Drew asks, when does Mike McCarthy take back the play calling duties? I don't think he will. I don't think that's been the problem. I think the problem has been on the defensive side of the ball more so. I mean, it's just you're seeing a lot of these players make mistakes. Like it's not McCarthy's fault. Zeke's fumbling, Dak's getting hit by the blind side and he fumbles or he throws an interception. You can argue that it's his call that we're not running the ball, but at the end of the day, when you are down 27 points, you have to throw the ball to get back in the game. I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
You got to, yeah.
Right. So, 1980, did you have any thoughts on that?
It's execution as well. Like you just said, I don't think it's our offense that's the problem. Now, us not scoring in the second and third quarter, that's a problem. But us having to come back, not wanting to do that. Nobody wants to come back from down 2-3 touchdowns. But they just got to figure out something to keep this defense, this offense average enough to level it off. I don't want 7 points in the first quarter, then we don't score into the third quarter, and then 20, 30 points in the third and fourth quarter. I don't want that. I want it leveled. We got to find some kind of way, and that's defense. It's affecting our offense. Not having a defense is affecting our offense. Because
right.
If the offense is out on the field, it's giving their defensive time to predict what we're going to do. And they know we're going to pass because we're down. You get what I'm saying? So, Dak Prescott threw another interception. Hell, you would throw one too if you were throwing the ball 100, 200 times.
Right.
That's all you can do, But I think they've done a good job. Kellen Moore's done a good job with the play calling. It's just we're not executing because you know why? You know why we're not executing these plays, guys? And we're not scoring in a second because we don't have an offensive line. And I keep telling people over and over again, not again, that a whole football team is established from the offensive line. It controls offense and the defense. It keeps the defense fresh. It keeps the offense on the field, milking the clock. We haven't been able to bully anybody and win time of possession. We've lost time of possession every game this season.
Right, and that's the fact of the matter. And it's just like you're starting to see some of these guys. I got a Steven 13 with the $2 holler. Why do we always lose to AFC teams? Listen, there's some, I don't know. I mean, that's not true. I mean, we don't always lose the AFC teams. It's just, it depends. It's just your case by case basis. There was a question that I saw was a really good question, but the lunatic asks, do we throw Anthony Brown in right away or do we ease him back in? No, you got to throw him back in. I'm sorry. You have to throw him back in.
Go. You know how you at the pool and you got that kid out there that can't swim and they just he kicking and shit. You throw his ass in there, man, and let him. He a veteran. He know what to do.
Right. I mean, you brought him back on a second contract for a reason.
Even if he hasn't been playing, he's still been on the sidelines studying and practicing in here and watching film and doing things like that. Just because you're hurt don't mean you haven't been doing nothing at all. You still been kind of following what's going on. So They should be able to plug him back in. He's probably been ready for about a week or two now, but doctors haven't cleared him yet until tomorrow. So, it is what it is.
Right, and then Say What You Like has a point real quick. He says in my chat, I'm not advocating for firing McCarthy, but let's not make excuses for him. We know what he was brought here to do. Because he was talking about the difference between us hiring Garrett and us hiring McCarthy. With us hiring Garrett, we knew we were in a rebuild and he was the young hotshot head coach coming into the league or coming into the head coaching scene. Meanwhile, Mike McCarthy is a veteran coach. Hey, he's going to just, tweak a couple bells and whistles and we'll be good to go. Now, I don't know if I was the only guy. I said I'm just expecting consistency. We need to win. I feel like you should win the division. But the fact of the matter is he's not doing what we thought he would do, and that's a problem. Now, again, there's 12 games left to go. I don't know what the hell is going to happen in those 12 games. But again, if assuming we disappoint and not win the division this year, that's a problem. Mike, you came here to win us some games. You came here to do this, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. If we're not seeing that, that's a massive, massive, massive issue.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's right.
All right.
I got a question here. You get that, Ishan?
Yeah. So Ishan K, my question is, how can we get our fundamentals straight? My worry is if we continue to F up, our players could tune out McCarthy. How do we prevent this? Listen, you got to win.
Yeah.
I know that sounds very bland and cliche, but winning changes a lot. A single win can change the complexion of a season. You can there can be one game where you take that one win and it makes you go win 7 straight. I'm not saying that's going to happen with the Cowboys, but momentum's a thing, and I thought it also depends on who you're going up against. And I don't want to go on for too long, but I feel like this season can go one of two ways, because as we see our first. With our 3 losses, they were all against opponents. Seattle's looking fantastic. The Rams look like a solid team. And the Browns look a lot better than expected, right? So there's one or two ways this can go. And I'm not trying to create excuses here. It's just there are theories of mine. The first one is we just play out suck and we just go 6-10 or we have a losing record. Or there could be a possibility just we were not expecting the teams we started out with to be very tough. And the Cowboys get on a roll later. I'm not saying they're going to go win the rest of their games. By no means. I don't think that's going to happen. But that is a possibility. So, I think we've already talked about this 1980. I just feel like the expectations have definitely been flopping right now. So.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. We got to go out there and win. That's the only way. Because, when you're losing, it creates a lot of negative things out there on the internet and on these TV shows. You got Xavier Woods talking about, I'm not going to give you, 100% for 70 plays. I shouldn't have to do that. See, those things happen when you're losing. Everybody gets astray. Everybody the frustrations come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody's drinking alcohol. They start telling the truth. You know what I mean? They start telling you how they really feel. But, I've never been drunk or drinking alcohol before in my life. I've been around people like that. They be cool at first, and then all of a sudden they get a little tipsy. Hey man, you drunk, get out my face. But when you're losing, it kind of does that to you. It kind of gets you in a drunken, tipsy state, and you start just saying things, and everybody's against each other. And blame me. No man, you make that tackle. Everybody start blaming the locker room. D-Law get on here and start talking mess about a weak defense and soft defense and stuff like that. And hell, he's probably right. He's out there in it. So shit, why not believe what he's saying? If he say it, if it comes from the horse's mouth, that's probably what it is. But something's got to be done. We got to start winning. We got to win this game tomorrow. That's the only way it's going to.
We have to.
And we still have a chance with this weak-ass NFC East. We still have a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're a half game out of first place. And like I said, there is a possibility that maybe the Cowboys just played a lot of tough teams we weren't expecting to be tough. And that's a possibility. Listen, that is definitely the factor that, because you look at the schedule, and again, I keep saying this because I want to stress this. Nothing's guaranteed. If the Cowboys were to go on a run, the end of October is for it. You have a team in New York that you should be able to take care of business. Arizona is going to be tough, but they haven't been really looking like a solid team. They started off really well. Now they lost 2 games in a row. Then you have 2 more NFC opponents in Washington and Philly, and we'll see how they look. Because there could be a possibility that the Cowboys could be 4-4 at the halfway point and leading the division. Or they could just be 1-7 or 1-6. Like that is a fundamental possibility.
It's possible.
Because remember in 2018 we were struggling. We made some massive ass adjustments, and we ended up going 10-6 and getting to the postseason. So there is a possibility that could be the case. Now, Game Changer has an interesting question. Should George Edwards, the assistant defensive coordinator, he's actually technically the senior defensive assistant, but I get the point, take over play calling if the defense continues to struggle? He was the Vikings DC last year. Yeah, he was the Vikings defensive coordinator for since 2014 up until 2019. Me personally, based off of his track record, because I have been looking at possible replacements, I think he should be your first guy you're looking at. I know that in-house options, I know people are talking about Wade Phillips. Me personally, we need to stop going back to people, coaches, players that we got rid of. You know what I mean? That's a problem. We shouldn't be doing that. Not saying Wade Phillips is a garbage defensive coordinator. He's a fantastic defensive coordinator, but I feel like you need to move forward. We can't be going back to these guys that we had previously. So I do believe he's definitely on my radar. But again, it comes down to, I think that what will probably happen, this is just my estimation. Let's say Dallas ends the season. Let's just say they finish 8-8 like last year, right? Mm-hmm. They say they finish 8-8, and the Cowboys end up going through another season with Mike Nolan. And if Mike Nolan has the same problems next year and he gets fired and they're looking for a replacement, he's the first guy I'm looking at because he has a decent track record for what he did. And it's just, I don't know, man. So, do you have any thoughts? Like, do you think that there are in-house options we should do? Or when do you think is the appropriate time to be like, yo, we got to let Mike Nolan go?
Now.
I was just about to shoot that.
Now. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's early. You might as well. I mean, a lot of GMs, owners, they like to see how it, but we don't have that kind of time. We're running out of time. This season is going by. Football season is so fast. Now is the perfect time to do it, to get somebody else in, move somebody up or something like that, in-house or whatever. And I would, he hasn't done anything to make the players he hasn't done anything to use the cards in his deck that he has the best way he can. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? I don't have six in my hand. I'm playing dominoes. I don't have big six in here, but I got to figure out how to make this guy, you know what I'm saying? I got to make him bite so I can use what I got. You get what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
And I don't know if it's players. I don't know if it's poor execution. He might be the brains. He might be the smartest man in the world as far as defense. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. Right now, I haven't seen it yet. Personnel, now we're lacking. I know we got players out. Sean Lee's out. Cheeto's out. A lot of our guys are out. And we were supposed to see this big-time hybrid 4-3-3-4 defense. We lost McCoy before the season even started. Old boy stepped on his foot or whatever. And, we just haven't been able to see what we thought. We got Everson Griffin from the Vikings. He had all these awesome highlights when he played with the Vikings. He was playing special teams. He was going out in coverage and getting in his –
right. Yep.
We were supposed to have all these things, but personnel and injuries and things have kind of lacked us from doing that. Now it's the coach's job. Just because you don't have all those things, now you got to work a little bit. Now
right.
If you're a teacher and you got a kid or two in your classroom that's not performing like the others, you got to work a little bit. You got to work. Now you got to dig in and try to figure out, diagnose this kid with something, or try to figure out how you can pick up this kid's weakness and turn them into strengths. So this kid can catch on and go off to second or third or fourth grade like the other kids. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you got to be able to do those things, and we haven't been able to do them.
Yeah, and so here's my thing: is that obviously I have players circled. I have written down a list on my phone. Typed a list on my phone. I'm looking at Antoine Woods, Jalen Smith. I'm looking at Xavier Woods. The list continues, and I'm looking at obviously DeMarcus Lawrence because he's getting paid. I'm looking at these guys, and I'm like, yo, and also Don Terry Poe. Those are guys I'm starting to look at or not that I started to look at, but I circled them because the primary thing that I have, and it's been pissing me off, is that these guys are filing complaints against the coaching staff, or rather what they're trying to do. And my thing is I'm trying to keep a track record of what's been going on in these games. If these guys continue to suck and not play well, I'm not going to sit here and blame Mike Nolan for this shit. You know what I mean? Because I can't, like there's a point where it's past coaching. You see, and so and that's not me trying to create an excuse for why we suck, why we're doing bad. It's just trying to be as reasonable as possible for being like, listen, we suck. This is why we suck. So, but listen, I greatly appreciate everyone for tuning in to the show. This was a fantastic show. Cowboys blog definitely want to link up with 1980. We definitely would love to see that. So. Listen, man, we definitely, I mean, we're not going to sign out yet. We'll do our final thoughts, and then we'll go ahead and head out. But before we do that, if you guys could, please make sure to make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on more content from us. We put up pretty good content for us, for you guys to watch throughout the season, even though it might be grueling as we lose games and how we lose games. But please make sure to do that. And also, if you're in, my chat, feel free to go subscribe up to 1980. And also, if you're in 1980's chat, feel free to go subscribe up to me. By all means, you can go ahead and do that. So, so once again, we thank everyone for tuning in. Now, don't leave yet. We're going to give our final thoughts now. So I'm going to let 1980 go first. 1980, what are your final thoughts going into Sunday?
Win. That's the most important. I think we all just want to win now as Cowboy fans. We just want to win. We just want to get some kind of positive energy sucked back into this organization, to the fan base, because right now everybody's, when you're losing, everybody's mad at each other. Everybody start pointing the finger. Everybody's like, oh, he's wrong, or he's wrong, or watch my video, or don't watch him, watch me, or this guy is wrong and I'm right. And, you start getting all that. But when you're winning, everybody's in a good mood. Everybody, hey, man, what's going on? I saw your live stream last night. You had a great video, man, yada, yada, yada. But when you're losing, everybody's at each other's throats. Like, man, it's your fault. And we ain't even playing. So the Dallas Cowboys, we need to win. And I got to bring this up again. I made my live stream the other day about lower your expectations and what's the other word, in a transitional season. Those two words right there, expectations, lower them, guys. If the Dallas Cowboys are losing tomorrow, everybody that thinks that way, I need y'all to go to the locker room. They're playing here in Frisco now. Here in Arlington now, AT&T Stadium. Go to that locker room and tell them that. Please say, hey, man, I know y'all are losing. I know we should be 0-4. Say everything. I go to that locker room and during halftime and say, Dak, you're getting garbage yards. Lower your expectations and see what happened. See what happened to you. And I'm going to be there. I'm going to have my phone ready. I'm going to be there because I would love to see what happens. But I like to win every game. I don't like to quit and give up. A lot of people have quit and gave up because they know we're losing. What if we came back? Like Space Cowboy said, what if these next games we got? What if we came back and start winning back to back to back to back? What if? I don't care about, we're not going to do that. How do you know? What if? What if we came back and just got on a run? We got guys healthy and boom, we got Randy Gregory back in. He's starting on the other side. And boom, we just came back. Defense started playing better. And we just, boom, out of nowhere, just came back, start winning games. And we just sneaked to. Would y'all say this is a wasted year then? Would y'all say lower your expectations then? Would y'all, this is a transitional season if we got deep into the playoffs? Everybody that said that, please don't watch no more. Just turn off the TV because your feelings going to get hurt. They're going to get hurt, man. So it's okay to be wrong sometimes. It's okay to overreact because it's a game. That's it. Ain't none of us playing. We just on here all together talking shit about what we think about the Cowboys, what they going to do tomorrow. Now, what they should do tomorrow, Space Cowboy just asked me, they should win tomorrow. Bottom line, they're the 0-4 Giants, man. Their quarterback, the QB rating is 68.3. He haven't even reached 80% this year. They don't have Saquon Barkley. Their offensive line have allowed 5 sacks, 8 QB hits. I think that's in one game. So, if we allow the Giants to come in our house, just like we allowed the Browns to come in our house, damn near the Falcons. But if we allow these guys to come in this, I mean, really? But you just never know. You just never know. So the Cowboys are like the box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But tomorrow, I'm going to have the same. People say, "Oh man, keep the same intensity you had." I'm always the same, and y'all know me. I'm always the same intensity. Even when we lose tomorrow, or even if we win, I'm still going to be crunk or whatever. I'm still going to support my team. But that's all I got, man. You know what I mean? So we got to win tomorrow. I think that's the most important thing. They got to find a way to win. Just play a little defense. That's all. Just play a little defense. It's guys. I'm gonna talk in my Jerry Jones voice now. I know we ain't got Sean Lee. Okay, I'm gonna be facetious here, huh? I'm gonna be facetious. I'm gonna be a little elementary. I know Jalen's not playing at your expectations. 1980 says Jalen's always on the chase. But you gotta remember, if we can just stop these guys for a couple of times, make them 3 and out, we can win this game tomorrow. I want my seats filled. You know I'm all about the money. You know, Jerry. You know, so don't care about what Steven says. We need Earl Thomas. We really do. 1980 don't want Earl Thomas, but we really need Earl Thomas. So, guys, Xavier Woods, I know 1980 said fire him, get him out of here, but who else do we got? I mean, we really don't have anybody else right now. So we'll see, guys. But Jerry, get out of here, man. Hey, man, that's all I got, man. Make sure you stay cowboyed up and prayed up, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, Jerry going to be coming and be like, oh, I need me some glory hole or something like that. Oh, my fucking God. But anyways, listen, this is my... Okay, this is my final thoughts. Listen. Still 12 games left to play, and I'm not going to say... Listen, I don't blame you guys if you're pissed at what's going on. I don't blame you if you're like, hey, listen, there's still plenty... Listen, we all have our feelings. We're all fans. We all have our own feelings of what's going on. The only thing is don't get on people. Like, if people were like, yo, this is a problem. We're looking down the barrel of a bad season, and then we come back and win. Don't get mad at them. You know what I mean? Don't try to... That's... Cut that crap out. But here's the thing. We got to take care of business on Sunday before we even think any of that. I've seen teams start out 1-5 and go 11-5. I've seen teams start out I've seen teams start out 3-5, go 10-6. That happened to us. Like, I have seen the opposite. I've seen teams start out 7-4 and go to 8-8. You know, or like, I have seen. Like, I know I'm young, but you can talk to people that are older than me. There have been teams that have started off strong and ended the season poorly, and vice. Think about it. Last year, we started out 3-0. Started 3-0, and we ended up 8-8. You know, like I want people to understand this. Like, we were 3-3. What is it? Yeah, we have been. I think at this point we've started 3-3 in the last 3 straight seasons, if I recall. I could be incorrect. I'm pretty sure that's the case, but we've started 3-3 in each the last 3 seasons, not counting this season. And so I don't want people to think that the previous coach we had was any better. I'm not trying to sit here and say McCarthy's going to be. Listen, it's a massive season where it comes to like all the changes and stuff that's going on. Let's just see what happens on Sunday. Let's take care of business. Play a little bit of defense. All I'm going to say is, I swear to God, if we have to come here on fucking Sunday and we lose to the Giants, you don't want to see it. So please win. Just win, please. I really don't want to be upset, especially if it's how it's been going. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll catch you guys after the game, depending on what happens. Hopefully the Cowboys have the power to get a win on Sunday. So we'll catch you guys later. Peace out, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks.